Hi, and welcome to video 11 of our dplyr series. We're going to start out today by looking at some of these useful summary functions. So you recall last time we set up this not canceled to be the flights and filtered for where it wasn't NA for either departure delay or arrival delay. So these were all the flights that weren't canceled, right? So now I'm going to look at those. I'm going to group them by year, month, and day. So for each day, I'm going to compute the arrival delay two different ways, right? One, I'm going to just compute the average, but that's averaging in the ones that were early as well as the ones that were late. So if I just want to look at the ones that were late, I'm going to select the arrival delay, bad word to use. I'm going to index into the arrival delay only those that were positive, okay? So I can look at this now and see the different measures, right? So it's important when you're doing a data analysis. How do you want to measure something? What is your variable going to mean when you're computing a new variable? So if I just looked at the average delay, this would say all of these dates had flights on average that were early, right? All the ones in red here. But if I look at the ones that were actually delayed, then I see a different sort of pattern, right? I'm only looking at the ones that were delayed to see how long they were delayed. Okay, so another thing I could do with my summary statistics is I could see when the first and last flight of each day left, right? So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to, for each day, so I'm going to group it by year, month, and day. I want to know, I'll say the first is going to be the minimum of the departure time, and the last is going to be the max of the departure time for each day. So I can see the first flight left at 5:17 in the morning and the last flight left at 11:56 p.m. on January 1st. On January the 2nd, the first flight left at 42 minutes after midnight. Okay, so you can see there's maybe a difference in, maybe there's a day of the week thing, since this is the first and this is the 8th, 7 days later. So maybe on a certain day of the week, they're not leaving as late at night, really, or as early in the morning, if you want to consider after midnight, first thing in the morning. Now, I want us to look at, for a minute, this code. So we're going to take this code apart. So I'm going to show you how to take apart code you find somewhere. So, what in the world is this doing? So we've got the not canceled. We're going to group it by year, month, and day. So we know we want to do something for each year, month, and day. We want to take the smallest rank of descending departure time and set that to be R. Let's see. What did that do? R in the range of R. I think what we have done is we've taken the smallest and the largest, right, of those departure times, and we've made a separate row out of each of those where we're showing all the flight information. So if we wanted to see how that works, let's see what we're going to do. So to figure this out, what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to filter and select one particular day. So let's say month is, I don't know, August, and the day is 23rd. Okay, so I'm going to start with that, and then I am going to see just what I get if I do the mutate. R is the min rank of descending. I know what descending departure time does, right? It's going to put the latest one first and the earliest one last, right? So it's going to go from like 23:59 or something like that down to something shortly after midnight. But I'm going to do this mutate and let me for the moment just transmute instead of mutate, because I don't want to keep them all. I just want to see that one, and let's see, I want to see the month, the day, and departure time. Let's see what that gives us. Oops. Yeah, I did mean the double equals. Let's see. Flights. Filter. The day is equal to the 23rd. And if you wonder, I'm using the up arrow on my keyboard to repeat previous entries. Okay. So, now I can see the R. This is giving me the rank. Okay, so what I've got is for this day, the 23rd, I have got my departure times in order, and R is the rank of those. So where do they rank? So there's 989 rows here. So if I did the range of R, so let's just look at if I did range of 1 to 30, right? What's that going to be? It should give me the minimum and the maximum. So if I'm picking out the R in the range, what it's going to do, the range of R is going to be the first one and the last one. Okay, so let me take the previous things that I did. So I started with flights, and I'm just going to pick first the one day. Okay, because I'm figuring out what this code's doing. So I'm going to transmute it, and then I am going to filter it where R is in the range of R. So this should pick out just the first and last entries, but I'm picking flights instead of not canceled, so I'm going to get the NAs. Okay, so if I did the same thing, let's start it all over, and let's take not canceled. And then let's filter that for those dates. And then let's transmute. And then let's filter, picking up the ones that are in the range. So now we get an entry for the first one and the last one. And I'm not quite sure why I got it twice, but when I look at then for the whole data set, what I got was a row for the first one and a row for the last one. So that gives me a row for each, 2 rows for each day, right? One with the first departure time, one with the latest departure time, but I'm getting all the other information about those flights, okay? Okay, that's enough for today. We will come back and talk a little more about counts and ways to count flights.